and welcome back to a new video. I thought it would be fun to do a little bit of an update video for you guys and just catch you up on what's been going on with me. A lot of you have been DMing me or leaving comments on my newer videos, just asking some of the same questions. So I thought it would be fun to say hi, grab a coffee, and literally just catch up. Before I get started on what's been going on and where I'm headed, I just want to say a huge thank you if you've been watching me for a while. It's been almost 5 years since I've been on YouTube. I posted my first YouTube video in September 2020, and actually I'm just realizing it's the same background, well, different brand, same background, same room. I'll get to that in a minute. But it's kind of ironic to be thinking about that. But anyway, it's been 5 years pretty much since I posted on YouTube, and a lot of you have been here for the majority of that time. So I just want to say thank you. If you have, if you're new, I want to say thank you as well. But there's something really cool about people who want to continue following you on your journey as you transform and change, as we all do. Basically, 2024 was the year of me trying to keep my business alive. I think a lot of people feel that way in business. It was a strange year. A lot of my small business friends said that. So I really tried to limit distractions and focus on keeping Solette going. With a rebrand, I definitely had things happen that I wasn't planning on, losing customers, losing wholesale customers, and I really had to focus on gaining new customers and maybe changing the way I was originally marketing my business and myself. So that's where I really took a step back and put my focus on keeping Solette alive. In July, my husband unfortunately had a very severe health issue, which was heart related. And so we were in the ICU for about 4 days. He's so much better now, thank goodness. But it definitely puts life into perspective for you when you have those situations happen, especially when they're to people that you literally spend every day with. So I really took a step back from pushing myself at work for the summer, and we went up to Maine, which we love. We spent time together. We spent quality time together at home, even with Lucy. I cooked all these meals that were just so comforting and cozy, and we spent time in our yard. We have a beautiful home, and we have a beautiful garden, and I just really took a step back to focus on myself and my mental health, because when I have slow sales, I'm the kind of person that lets it affect my day, which is not healthy. And so I really tried to take myself from being someone who put 100% of her life in her business and sort of have a little bit more balance. So that was sort of what the summer looked like. And then heading into fall and holiday, it was just all about sales for Solette and getting out there. I pulled my markets last year. There were 67 days I was at a market. Okay, my husband just came home. Where was I? Okay, so there were 67 days last year that I was at a market, which the majority of that was around the holiday time period. So I really just focused on that. I did post on YouTube in the fall last year, and it was a lot of different content, which I totally get if that's not what everyone's here for. But in keeping with, you know, trying to find a little bit of work-life balance, I really found that I loved making content around the things that made me happy, which are the cooking, the gardening, and home. And I still wanted to document. I still wanted to be on YouTube. So I took a risk and I totally changed some of my content style. And some of the videos are the best videos I've ever posted before. And I realized that that's different from what I used to post. But my life has changed so much from what I used to post. I used to make all my products by hand. I used to do everything myself in a studio space, which I now am back home, which I'll touch on in a minute. But the videos I used to make, that's not what my life was anymore. So I still run my business, but it's a much different business than it was before. And I'm super happy with the direction it went, but it definitely took me time to navigate and figure that out. And with that, I think I just shared more of things that I already loved. Here we are in 2025, and I, in January, made the decision to move my business back home. The biggest reason, quite honestly, was just to save money. I was paying $850 a month for my studio space, which was about 400 square feet. And that's a pretty good price for renting commercial real estate. But there were a few things that just weren't working for me anymore. It was taking much longer to get there, and I genuinely wasn't using it the way I originally needed to, because I wasn't making nearly as much product. So I made the decision to bring my business back home. So we're back in my spare bedroom, which is the Solette / Fiorella room. I'll give you a tour at the end of the video. There's not much different, but I'll still give you a tour. And I'm so much happier being at home. I can be more efficient. That was the biggest reason too. Other than financial, to save money, I can be so much more efficient with my business here. And I'm still making product, but it's probably like 5 days out of the month do I make product. And I have all my studio space in the garage. We pretty much converted the garage into a studio space for my business. So we made it work. And a lot of the reason that I did that too financially is because my husband and I bought land in Maine a couple years ago, and we really want to build a cabin. And to do that, we need money. And with a tough economy and a tough environment, and we're both business owners, we had to cut expenses somewhere, and I thought that would be the best part. So that's kind of the explanation as to why I'm back home. I think at first I thought a lot of people would think, oh my gosh, your business is failing because you can't afford to be in your studio space. And it's more of just making those choices to keep your business afloat and going, but also figuring out in life what you want to do. I'm in my 30s and I feel like I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do in life sometimes. And so you make choices and changes, and that's what life is about. And so I always just think following your heart and your gut and what feels good is what you should do. So that's why I'm back home, and I'm really happy. Now that I've been here since January, I'm really happy. And I think someone posted a comment about, well, where's all of your stuff? And so I have a lot of stuff at the house. We pretty much moved as much back as we possibly could. And then I do have a storage unit that I rent, which is like $140 a month. And I go there maybe once a week if I need to, and it's so much better. So I'm super happy with that choice. As far as what 2025 looks like going forward, I am currently signed up for 47 markets, and I am actually getting people to help me. So I'm hiring out my first couple employees to help me at markets, and that really is because there's so many markets in the Boston area, and I want to be able to be in a few places at once. And also I'm doing some markets for Fiorella as well. So I think I have 7 markets planned for Fiorella. And it's just trying to figure out, I was not planning on having 2 brands, but here we are. So I have my Solette, which is what you see behind me. And then I have Fiorella, which I don't have much to share with you because it's a whole new brand that I'm sort of reviving and building and trying to make her just perfect and cute again. So I have those 2 businesses, and there are going to be some markets where I have a booth for each one. So I'm hiring out, which is really exciting. And then I chose to take off the summer of July and August. I have found that my markets don't do as well, so I definitely want to take some time off, especially before the ramp up of fall and holiday. And I have some big plans for my businesses for markets then too. But for the most part for my business, it's just every week I am making connections with wholesale customers. I am shipping all my orders and creating some content for social media. But I really have tried to keep my work-life balance, and so I cook almost every single night. I have been obsessed with my garden. Actually, the last 2 days I planted about 300 seedlings, and I have a few more trays in the grow room to be able to start some summer seeds, and I'm almost done with those. So I've been obsessed with my garden and just thrifting and home decor and just things that genuinely make me happy. And that has made me so much happier this year. This year, I feel like I'm myself again. I feel like I understand where I'm headed. I have a vision. I'm on a path that feels good. Last year was so much of figuring out what that looked like. And I just didn't feel, I tried to document certain things last year for you on YouTube, but every time I did, it just didn't feel the way I wanted it to feel. And I think there's so much negativity going on in the world, and I just wanted to be a positive part of that. So if I didn't have something positive to share, I just wasn't sharing. So what my content for YouTube looks like going forward, I don't really know, if I'm being honest. Will it go back to what I was doing before? Most likely not, just because I'm not making products like I used to make, and I'm shipping orders or doing admin on the computer, and that's, I don't know, I don't think that's as fun. So I do anticipate making content in the future for YouTube that is more home focused, is more cooking focused, might share more of my cookbook collection. And genuinely all of that stuff is who I am that creates a brand like this. Meaning, you know, I love to be creative, and sometimes creativity can come in different facets. So I find inspiration in a recipe sometimes, or I find inspiration while I'm thrifting for a new pattern or something like that. So it sort of all does tie in to each other. And I think that's what I'm trying to figure out, is how do I tie in me and my business together, but also not making my business 100% of the content. And the reason being is just, sometimes I struggle with what to share about my business, and I don't want to share, you know, sales numbers and things like that, because it just, people get into the comparison mode for themselves, and I just don't want to create that kind of a space. So I'm finding it very fun and joyful to create more lifestyle content, but I 1000% understand if that is not what you're here for. I have YouTubers that I loved 10 years ago, and I'll click on one of their new videos and I can't watch 30 seconds of it. So I get it. So please don't feel like I am expecting you to watch all of my new content. That's totally different from what it was before. But I at least just wanted to catch you up on what's been going on and why I've changed my content, just so that you know. And I don't want you to feel like I left you in the wind, and maybe for a few months you may have felt that way. And if you did, I'm very sorry. It certainly wasn't my intention. But we're all human, and I think sometimes we all make some mistakes, and you navigate and you learn. So yeah, I have such a love for YouTube that I'm not sure I'll ever stop it. I mean, I take breaks here and there, but I just love this so much. I consume YouTube the most myself. I'm currently obsessed with a few YouTubers from England in the Cotswolds and the cottage living, and that is 1000% my vibe. And so I've just been loving that. It's so enjoyable for me. I watch more YouTube than TV now. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to give you guys an update. I wanted to chat. I wanted to answer questions that you may have. I'm sure if you have other questions, you can definitely leave them down below. I try to respond to everyone's comments, regardless of whether or not it's a question. As promised, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tour of my new old guest room, just so you can get your bearings. If you happen to see it in a video, you know what it looks like. This is my spare bedroom, which I have converted into my studio space. So we'll start from right here, and I've got one of the nightstands that my husband and I painted just here with, I tested some of these products for holiday, little bath brushes and stuff, and some sold well and others didn't. So they're really just like display pieces now. I don't really bring them to markets or anything. And then we have our shelves here with all of the beautiful products. So I've got body butter, sugar scrubs, minis, some extra shipping supplies. This couch does pull out into a bed, but I will not be using that because I don't want anybody sleeping in here. Lucy's not allowed in here. Lucy is my dog. So yeah. And then, oh, this is a sneaky little peek. I just got some new signs for Fiorella for my upcoming market for that. And then just baskets with more shipping stuff down here. My little, I don't even know what you call that, desk organizer cabinet. And then I've got the cleansers up here, and then just random stuff. That's like my junk drawer, but up there. And then Fiorella stuff here. And then I am not going to show you inside this closet. Oh my God, it's a disaster. But I have a closet and then my desk. So that's pretty much what my little office looks like today, and I love it. I'm so much happier here. I'm happier at home. I'm happier to be like in my space. I am the most successful when I have the ability to be comfortable in my space, and so I'm very happy to be home. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video just as far as getting an up-to-date of me. I'm glad that you care. I appreciate that you care enough to want to know what's been going on. I think that's really cool. So I just wanted to at least share with you, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. And if you do like my new content, I do have a thrift video that I'm going to be sharing in a little while, so look for that. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!